Hi, I'm Ashley Johnson with Clear Rose TV, and it's the opening night of the Culver City Film Festival, and we just had the Broadening Your Reach as an Actors panel. I'm sitting here with Holger Moncada Jr., who I'm very excited to talk to because, honestly, if you haven't turned on your TV or the internet and seen him on some kind of show, you're a series regular on Get Shorty, Hand of God, St. George's. I mean, you're everywhere right now, and listening to you speak on the panel, I can honestly see why in terms of your work ethic and the inspiration. So what would be the biggest advice that you give yourself, your younger self starting out?
Oh, wow. Give myself, my younger self, I would tell my younger self to not be in such a hurry. If anything, this industry has taught me, or this business, and the art of acting and just being an artist in general, is learning to take your time, and that this is a marathon and not a race.
Now, I know that you are originally born in Germany, but you are Ecuadorian. Then you went to Texas, then to New Mexico. You did some community theater. So at what point did you say to yourself that you wanted to take a leap of faith and come to Los Angeles and really pursue your goals?
That's a good question. I decided, it's funny because I was a kid actor in New Mexico and Texas, because it was just something that I did because I had nothing to do there. So, but then when I found it, it just got me. I mean, it got the bug. But then as life went on and having to look through other ways of living with my folks and traveling and stuff, being an actor was not really in my mindset as a career. My parents never pushed me to do it, and was never really in my mind about it. And so I pursued other things. But it wasn't until much, much later, until I got to be 25, that I decided, after a lot of things had failed, and I figured, what can I do that I find so wonderfully fulfilling for me? And that was acting. I remember being a boy, being a child on stage. I remember how much joy that gave me, and I realized I want to give that a try, and diving into it more and more, I committed myself to it. I've dedicated my life to it.
And I don't think he stopped acting ever since. He definitely hasn't stopped. I think what impressed me the most on the panel was when you talked about how in 2008 you were homeless, and of course we fast forward 10 years later and you're consistently working. It hit home with me because I've been homeless. I've had that experience. What was it like acting and pursuing your goals at that point in time?
It was a real turning point. I had the opportunity, like I mentioned before in the panel, that I could go home. My parents were definitely. They don't know that I went through this trial, but I knew in the back of my mind my parents would always welcome me home. But I knew that for some reason it was like, no, I can't. I have to do this, and I was not scared about how I was going to live, how things were going to, where I was going to get my next meal, how we're going to take a shower. For some reason, with that calmness, I right then and there knew that was it. Like I was meant to be an actor, be an artist.
And what are some of the next projects that you're going to be working on?
I have 3 of them actually coming out within the next year. One of them is, I promise you, these roles she's talking about, they're really small. You blink, you miss me, but it's just great to be working. I'm so grateful. One of is Grand Hotel, which is going to be on ABC, and then the other one is it's called LA's Finest. That's going to be with Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba. That's going to be on Crackle or Sony. I think that's Sony's streaming service. And then the other one is going to be called Are You Sleeping? Opposite Octavia Spencer. I have a nice little scene with her, which will be cool. Playing a cop as Officer Perez in a show called Are You Sleeping? And it's for Apple's new streaming service. I guess Apple is trying to push their own streaming service right now. So that's what they got going on.
So you're very busy, and of course, I wish you the best of luck and success, and thank you so much for staying and doing a spotlight interview with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.